Welcome to clickmyproject.com. Our project title is PBA, Protection Based Authentication for Vehicle to Vehicle Communications. Our project abstract: in vehicular network, broadcast communications are critically important, as many safely related applications rely on single hop beacon message broadcast to neighbor vehicles. However, it becomes a challenging problem to design a broadcast authentication scheme for secure vehicle-to-vehicle communication, especially when a large number of beacons arrive in a short time. Vehicles are vulnerable to computation-based denial of services attacks that excessive signature verification exhaust their computational resource. In this paper, we proposed an efficient broadcast authentication scheme called protection-based authentication to not only defend against computation-based DOS attacks, but also restrict packets losses caused by high mobility of vehicles. In contrast to most existing authentication schemes, our PBA is an efficiently and lightweight scheme, since it is primarily built on symmetrical cryptography. To further reduce the verification delay for some emergency application, PBA is designed to exploit the sender vehicle ability to protect future beacons in addition to prevent memory-based DOS attacks. PBA only stores shortens rekeyed message authentication codes MAC of a signature without a decrease in security. We analyze the security of our schemes and stimulate a PBA under varying vehicular network scenarios. These results demonstrate the PBA fast verifies almost 19% message with low storage cost, not only in high density traffic environment but also in lossy wireless environments. This is the flow diagram of our project. First, we have existing and a new user. For example, login models. We have existing or a new user. After, if we are not an existing user, we have to register it. After that, we have to deploy the nodes. After deploying the nodes, we have to select the source and the destination. After that, selecting the source and destination, we have to choose a file. The file chosen can be at any files. After the choosing a file, the file splitting process can be done. After the file splitting process, the selected source node has be as a sender and the destination should be a receiver. There is in between a forwarding nodes to be as an intermediate to transmit a file to source to a destination. There is a forwarding node to be selected. In the receiving side, after receiving the files, the bandwidth can be calculated between the sender and the receiver, and the time process can be calculated using the time process and the bandwidth as a result graph. After validating the result graph, there should be a graph validation to know the graph with the bandwidth and the time. On the time process, the bandwidth should be high or a low quality for sending a file to sender and the receiver. This is our project demo for a PBA, protection based authentication for vehicle to vehicle communications. This is the login page. If we are an existing user, we are using an ID and password. If we are a new user, we have to register in it. Choosing ID. Registration is completed. I am choosing an ID to be logged in it. After the login, you have to deploy the nodes. This is nodes can be for different vehicles or different users can be considered in it. For different users, we have to calculate the path from one sender to the receivers. Choosing a source. This is the sender. I am choosing a receiver. This is the receiver. This is the intermediate users. I am choosing a file to send to the receiver. I am making a duplicate name to send to the receiver. Confirm the split edge. This is the total number of users in between it. I am choosing a certain user and a receiver. This is the duplicated file name, which to be sent by between the sender and the receiver. This is the split edge. This is the file path of the original file. This is the file path between of the duplicated file. This is the file name, original file name. This is the file size. Distance can be calculated from the sender to receiver between each users. From one user to another, the distance can be calculated. The average distance can be calculated, and the average nodes can be taken. Average user nodes can be taken. This is the average bandwidth, and the total distance can be calculated. I am choosing a single user to transmit as a forwarding node. File is waiting to be received. The nodes can be verified. I am choosing a second nodes. Each node can be verified. After that, only the files can be sent between two users. Verify. This is the file received from sender. Bandwidth to be calculated. This is the total bandwidth between one user to another user, and also between sender to receiver. This is the time processed from sender to receiver. The graph can be calculated using the time and the bandwidth. There is a bandwidth from one user to the forwarding user, and after that the bandwidth to be reduced to reach the files at a certain times to a receiver. Thank you.